People of class, welcome to today's review of the dual pack of the Green Ranger and the Putty, the Mighty Morphin Ranger Slayer, and the Mighty Morphin Tyrannosaurus Sentry. I'm going to start with the Green Ranger and Putty, just because they are a 2-pack, and I like the Green Ranger the most out of these 3. So starting with the bots, it's a very simple design. In comparison to the other things I've reviewed, I have to say that the back is very plain, and I think those are 3D renders, and I don't really like them, but you know, if it saves money, it saves money. Getting them both out of the box, I have to say that they come with some interesting things, to say the least. And for the Putty Ranger, he kind of comes with 2 accessories already on him, and then 2 more that you can add on. One thing I have to say about I'll call it the boulder accessory is the hand detailing, or the hidden hand in this is awesome. I love that he's literally putty, so he can form his body into whatever. And the hand itself is very nicely detailed with amazing paint wash in each little crevice on him, and there is a couple of little flares like this, especially as we get into each figure. They're unfortunately, from what I'm used to, especially with Marvel Legends and everything, they kind of miss some things, and especially on the Green Ranger, he got damaged pretty bad. And going to the Putty Ranger himself, or itself I should say, the hand, or the blade hand, is awesome. You can see 3 fingers individually there, or I guess the palm or the back of the hand there. And to go in the Putty figure himself, I have to say one cool thing is the hand detailing. So I don't really know if this is the palm of the hand and this is the back knuckles, or maybe this is his fist and then that's just the back of the hand, but that's just a little gripe I have. But other than that, it is very nicely detailed, just like everything, but it doesn't have a wash for some reason. Like this hand kind of does, it more has dry brushing. I mean, it's an easy, just get gray wash, black wash, tan wash, I don't know, and you'll be fine. I'm looking at the head of the Putty. This is why I say that they should have done the most detailing. I love the red eyes, there's no real paint bleed, there's no paint missing, so that I'm not opposed to, especially how they colored the mouth. Thank you for that. A lot of places do, but then it's kind of skimpy, but because of how easy this is, it was done well. The printing on the chest is also really magnificent. The painting on the belt buckle, oh my gosh, there is no paint bleed at all. That's awesome. For the rest of him, he's just a standard mass-produced bad guy. And the thing I was talking about of how they kind of skimped down stuff, or maybe this is just a plastic, just happened same with Gunpla. So you can see as they got him off of the molding line, there is a big gnash there, and because of that, some of the pieces don't even fit that well together. So at the price point that I paid for this of 90 bucks, it's like, ooh, I'm grateful that I have this, but in other cases, I'm like, come on now. I understand that when it was getting off the manufacturing belt, this thing was like 40 bucks, but this is just my fault. And getting into articulation, it is nice. I won't say it's, you know, outstanding. It's like, oh, it's a real Power Ranger. There are things that I wish that could be done, like a head tilt. Like, you can't get that much, unfortunately, but oh well. With these guys, I'm not really pressing too hard for it. The butterfly has so much range, it's beautiful. It looks like an actual shoulder popping out. The shoulder itself, ratchet systems, but unfortunately, it can only go out to 90. Not to say that's bad though. There is a nice, strong bicep. The double jointed arms is, I mean, amazing, as it would always be. One thing I would have to say though is this guy has been in the bots, but as you can see here, the arm joint warped somehow due to the heat of it being in the garage for so long. So if you really want to take good care of these guys, you have to keep them in the cool air-conditioned room. I would say that these can rotate, but they can't. I feel like they can only be popped off, and because of how tight they are on there, I'm putting stress on that joint because I paid 90 bucks for this. I'm not going to take them off. Just imagine that this is what this arm looks like and this is what that arm looks like with a regular hand. So the chest articulation is very nice as well. I love, and I want Marvel to do this. I want them to have, especially for the females, an upper torso rotation and an ab crunch. I'm tired of the just upper torso, especially for females. I get they want to keep their stomach intact, but I don't really like it. so backbend can go far. The belt is rubber, so you don't have to worry about that too much. The ab crunch with the upper chest mobility is great. Also realized that I think that whole seam line is literally zipper. That's awesome. For the rotation, there is none at the lower waist, you just get it at the upper. The other gripe that I have with these figures is they cannot close their legs fully, which also provide a problem when he goes into a wide stance. They can't do the splits. These are Power Rangers. I would really like them to be able to do the splits. For going up, you can get under 90, which, yeah, you know, it is what it is and then previously shown, but going to the back, not at all. A very good feeling thigh rotation, no problems at all. Knees are double jointed. These ones are smooth like butter, but maybe it's because of the heat that they're like that. Going to the shins, they are on a tight rotation. I feel like they might have been warped. And for the feet, you can pivot them down, not really up, they just go straight, and then they have a swivel at the front. But overall, I have to say that he has, you know, possibility. It's not that he can't be better, it's that you would have to be willing to risk a little bit of damage to this guy to make him better. But of course, if it's gonna be hidden, or if you don't really care about a little extra plastic being missing up top, what's wrong with it? And for the Green Ranger, I have to say he comes with a lot, but it's kind of a mess a lot. The first thing that I want to talk about that he comes with is the Dragon Sword. I have to say that the detail on this is amazing. Fortunately, the tassel on it is connected to it, so it can, especially when you're taking out the bots, break kind of easily, which is pretty sad. But an easy fix is to literally just drill a hole through that bead right there, get a tiny red string, a tiny red bead, or whatever bead that matches the actual color, and then tassel. And voila, you fixed it. Other than that, the gem, and I mean just the painting on this guy is like, even the tiny little scribing detail is outstanding. I'm happy that Hasbro did not mess around with the paint on this in whatever matter. There's no paint bleed, there's no damage, there's no missing paint, anything. Of course, it could be detailed better, but I'm just saying. For the Dragon Dagger, painting on this, of course, it's bleeding over a little bit, but since this is such a small thing, I will gladly say, you know what, it doesn't matter. The gold on here is stunning, the green pops, they painted the flute pieces, the actual Dragon Sword emblem is just wonderful. This is definitely my favorite piece of this set, and I love that they didn't skimp out on the detail and just give us a basic black sword or whatever. For the Dragon Sword, you also get this amazing effect, which is a soft plastic piece, which I understand how some people could, you know, want a hard plastic, maybe something else that literally connects to it through a peg like up here, but I love it just the way it is. I love that you can do it either way. I mean, of course, everyone has their own preference, and this doesn't even have to go on the sword. It can go really anywhere on him as long as it fits and you don't break, because again, this guy is 90 bucks. I'm pretty sure you don't want to spend another 90 just to get this flimsy little thing again. And how it fits in the included Dragon Dagger hand and with the split out pointed fingers, I have to say that you can get some stunning poses with this. Fortunately, you can't perfectly angle the hand to get the dagger into the mouth, but this is good enough for me. One thing I do have to say I'm happy about is he can hold his dagger, and this is what I mean by I can go anywhere on him. Another thing I want to say about the hands though is watch out for the long peg. Every time I swap out these hands, I get a little bit nervous or rip it out of the hinge, or will it somehow just snap on the inside, which I know has probably happened to someone, and I am so sorry that happened. For the stepper head that it comes with, I have to say that it's actually pretty small. I don't really like the sizing, and getting it on was a pain in the butt. There's actual paint scraping on the neck because of it, and as you can see and probably hear, tightness on this is insane. So I will never ever put this head on again. Before we get into articulation, I want to talk about what I was mentioning earlier with the helmet. You can see, I don't know what happened. It looked like it melted on the side, which is very unfortunate. I could fix it, but just a little sad that's what I get. And the helmet detail is also stunning. I forgot to mention that this whole guy is stunning. Same with the Putty Patrol belt detail is amazing. The only gripes I really have with it are the forearms. They are painted on. which I get it, but it is such an obvious contrast from the rest of the plastic. But the gold looks great though, I have to say. So for the head articulation, it is very limited. You can look down more than up, or really anything other than, of course, turn. You kind of can't turn 360 because of the shield. The arms are just like the putty, they can only go up to 90. The butterfly joint is beautiful, as always. Bicep rotation, wonderful. Feels nice and tight. Doesn't feel like it will get loose. The elbow joint also warped in the sun. I don't even know how. I left these guys in boxes or in the shade. It confuses me. But that doesn't limit articulation in the slightest. There's a hand rotation. The upper torso is awesome. Same with the ab crunch with a nice ratchet, and the back bend without a problem. A forward leg, and this is where I'm like, come on now. These are Power Rangers. They should have more range than this, but you know, it's whatever. You can get enough. Double knee, very smooth. A single ratchet, maybe that's just the heat, but without a problem. You can bend either joint to get a little bit more forward of a knee or more of a backward knee, which is very cool. The shin articulation's much better. Feels like it has a ratchet in comparison to the putty. And be careful of this gold. As you can see, there's a tiny bit of paint scraping in there, maybe, which sucks a little bit, but it's alright. And then the foot articulation, same as before. Up and down without a problem, and a hinge and swivel. Moving on to the next figure is the Tyrannosaurus Sentry. First thing I have to say is, unfortunately, when I got the box, it was damaged. I don't know if this happened in shipping, but when I saw the original listing, it was not like that. And just like the other one and all of them, it's very simple back, nothing much you need to know. Wonderful side detailing. I have to say that first impressions getting them out of the box, the detailing on the chest, the head, the cape, going all the way down the body is amazing. It comes with a few accessories which I could see how some people complain about, but these are Power Rangers. Their main weapon is their hand. So the biggest gripe I have with this already is firstly the helmet. It looks off. I feel like it should be forward more, maybe a little bit bigger. And also the cape connection sucks. Just straight up sucks. And then the cape, I don't really like these capes. I'm happy that they include one with such amazing detail, especially this little piece. But as soon as I got this guy, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to make my own cape for him. And without him, he looks like the Red Ranger, but he obviously feels like he should have more because of the awesome skirts that he has on the side, with again no real paint damage or bleeding other than that little tiny spot right there, but no one's really looking at the butt. And the shin armor, I love it. I don't know why I love shin armor like this, and I wish that there was a little bit more paint detail back here, but you know, it's awesome. The shoes, I'm a little disappointed. I don't know why, they just looked so fake is the easiest way to put it in. Other than that, I mean, it's great. There is a little bit of some damage here on the chest. The previous seller that I got from, he doesn't know where it's from either. Maybe this was supposed to be another figure on the assembly line, but then like, you know, let's not do that. And then they just ripped it out of him and then tried to fill it in. Not that great, but you know, oh well. And for the staff, just like I said with the Green Ranger, the painting, they didn't miss the scribing on the edge of the blades is awesome. I feel like there should be a little bit more. Maybe I'm looking for detail in between the gold and red parts, and maybe on the handle. Other than that, I don't know, it's pretty good. And I could only get this into the left hand. The right hand doesn't allow it to be open unless you want to stress it, and I paid 40 bucks for this guy. I don't really want to do that. And I have to say, the beam effect part that he comes with honestly sucks, man. It does not, especially the cape. I hate the cape. It does not want to go on. For some reason, is an open energy casing, and there's no real way to situate it on. I mean, it's, if you try to put it through there, it just doesn't look right. If you can get it on there, position it right, and not move it, however you balance it on there, it can look pretty cool. For just regular people who want a stable connection, there unfortunately is none. It looks great, don't get me wrong, but why should I have to really finagle with this thing to get it? So that's why, in my honest opinion, you should use both of their, well, I mean, other than the Green Rangers with the Dragon Sword, but you should use both effects with their hands, because at this point, the best way to use them is how Power Rangers always solve their problems: punching them to death. Getting a closer look at this guy, I have to say again, he looks great. The white, the black, everything on him looks amazing. My biggest problem with the pieces though is the shin armor. As you can see, the feet and the shin armor don't line up. The shin armor wants to go left while the feet go straight. On this one, they want to go straight while they want to curve left. So they both want to go in when I feel like they should be more straight, but that's just me. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe that's how they're supposed to be in real life too. But pretty much he has the same range of articulation as the Green Ranger. It's just a little bit better without the Dragon Shield. The Butterfly, stunning again. It can get a little bit more range up, but that is because of this cut right here. It goes a little bit further in, so you can get a higher shoulder raise. Biceps, not a problem. So this one is a little more pink with some white bleed, but ain't that bad. And the shoulder painting is messy. I mean, you can obviously tell that's painted on, and some parts of this are painted on, but yeah. The ab, same as the others. The only difference is the painting goes all the way through. Blades, limited by the soft plastic good. It's not the end of the world. If you want a little bit more, you're just gonna have to worry about if you want to pose them in something for a long time or damage the plastic. Knees and whatever are not limited in the slightest by the armor. You can get perfect range without a problem. Feet are regular as always, hinge, swivel, yeah. And for the Mighty Morphin Pink Ranger Slayer, I have to say that she is beautiful. The box is wonderful. The back piece, of course, is 3D rendering and kind of iffy on it, but you know. And for the Pink Ranger, I have to say she is awesome. The painting, the bow scuffing, the damage, the different colors from pink to white. There is a little bit of paint bleed on there, but ain't that big a deal. Then the shoulder armor to the silver lining on the cape and the big helmet. I love it. But the only gripe I really, well, two gripes I have is, firstly, single jointed arms. Why is it that some females just, like, I get it, maybe it's a little hard to put joint in there, but like my G.I. Joe review, the females should have the best articulation because they're on a smaller frame. So why aren't they? But other than that, it's just my little gripe. The Morphin belt is beautiful, just like the rest of them. And my second problem is putting the dang bow in the hands. It was not fun. I felt like I'm gonna stretch out or destroy the fingers in some way, and it's in there, but I feel like if I turn it too much, then it's not going to work. So what she comes with other than the bow is this tiny little weapon. I do not know the name of it. 3 arrows, attaches one pink blind arrow, which I really love the effect of. Unfortunately, it's warped. And then she comes with 2 hands, which I am not going to interchange. I'm tired of changing out the hands and feel like they're gonna break or something, but maybe if you want to, you go ahead. So for the articulation, I'm gonna leave the bow in the hand because I don't want to take it out again. Head with this big freaking helmet can do, I mean, the exact same as the others. The shoulder can go up pretty high with a nice rotation. The butterfly joint is well hidden, and I feel like she's supposed to go back more to draw the arrow, which I love. And she can get a, you know, kind of drawing back the bow, but I just wish that the up and down joints or swivel joints were swapped, when this one could go from thumb to wrist and then this one would go from thumb to back of hand. But that's just me. Shoulder rotation is not limited in the slightest. Ab and whatever, this one is a little bit more limited, but the ab crunch is the same as the others, just a whole lot more tight, and it doesn't go down as far, which again is weird. Why do the girls have less articulation? That's just me. The legs can go up a little bit more than the males though. That is something I really like. Out, I feel like they can go into deeper squats with this, but it's pretty much the same. And then they do have double jointed knees, which on this one are very, I would say, almost loose, which is a little bit sad, but luckily they're pinned, so I can just put in some joint tightener and fits that right up. And that's gonna be it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this influenced you or informed you before you buy these guys, and we'll help you decide whether you want them or not. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a nice day. God bless, and see you next time. Peace.